What's up, y'all? So, I don't know. I just want to make a video right now, but also want to get something off my chesty chest. Like, so I got this tattoo because life takes us through spirals, and we repeat the same cycle over and over again until we learn the lesson from the cycle to break up out of it. And lately I've been learning what that means in real time and how to break out the cycle in real time, because it's like everything is a process. That's why it's a cycle, because it's like you can go through the cycle, right? Pause. You can be going through the cycle for a while, but then there's this one last time that where it snaps you to reality, like this thing steady happening. Okay, boom, it happened again. You like, oh my God, it happened again. And then that last time it'll be like, oh, this going on right now. Oh, perfect example is like on those shows where people get stuck in like a video game type shit and they keep repeating that same level over and over again. And they're trying to get to the other side, but it's like they can't get out the video game because the game keeps starting over whenever they think they finally figured out the puzzle that's keeping them in the game type shit. And it's like a lot of times like that's how life moves, and it can be draining, it can be frustrating, like you can feel all the emotions in the world, but a lot of times it's like they are meant to be felt. Not even a lot of times, all the time. Like when you feel emotions and like feelings that you can't explain sometimes, like you're supposed to feel that. Eventually you'll start to make sense of it, and then you'll be able to say something about it. You'll be able to communicate how you feel about it, or like you'll notice it in someone else, and it'll give you a sense of clarity on how it played a role in your life. Like you may even give them advice, and you basically giving yourself advice. Like, I don't know, there's levels to it. Like I be paying attention to stuff like that. Like even with me, like I tell people this a lot, like how you feel about me is a reflection of how you feel about yourself, because it's like the only way you can see it in me is because you saw it in yourself first. And it's like to think about what a lot of people be saying about a lot of people, other people, it's like that's literally what it is. Like you literally talking about yourself. Like it's something else I learned in Chicago. Like we do that all the time. Like we are a city of people that talks about other people. Like I don't get it, but for somehow it works for us. And it's like now as I'm getting older, like that's where the toxicity comes in, because it's like you could say something and someone could twist your words because they didn't understand it in the context that you meant it, but the way that they understood was based on their life experiences. So they only knew to react the way that they reacted, if that makes sense. Like that's something to think about, like how we as people in Chicago, like we aren't as mindful of our words as we should be. And it's like even like with the conversations that we choose to have, I truly believe Chicago is a gossiping ass city. Like people, like it's just so much, like it just be so much going on in this city. And it's like knowing that, is like how can we come back from bring each other back whenever we do have those conversations? What can we find meaning in these conversations? What can we do to like use these conversations to elevate us to a different place? Like I'm thinking of Skip Marley, Higher Place, but it's like how can they take us to a higher place? Because it's like I truly believe like the city of Chicago, like the people of Chicago is like some really dope people. We just don't be having our priorities straight all the time. Like I don't know, because it's like I'm low key venting, but I'm speaking for real, because I just listened to this girl talk, And it's like the way that she was talking, like she was speaking from the heart. Like I felt what she was saying. Like I low key been in her situation before, not exactly, but I understood. And it's like she was talking from her heart, and it's like, at what point do we look at stuff like that and be like, so what's really going on? What's going through your head that's making you react this way? What conversations are you having with yourself that make you come to other people's presence to have those type of conversations? Like, I don't know. Like it's different ways to look at every situation, but my thing is like, words, like being mindful of the words we use, how we use them, how we put them together, and how we say what we say. Like, and that's something that I've been learning lately. Like, you can be saying all the right things, you can be speaking a lot of truth in what you're saying, but how you say what you say matters just as much as what you are saying. Because it's like, you can have a direct approach, like super direct approach, but you talking to a person that doesn't understand it that way. And it's like, a lot of times you do got to read the room, but then it's also like knowing how to paint a picture with your words so that people don't misunderstand what you're saying. Because it's like, you can be so wrapped up in the emotions of it and you start saying a whole bunch of stuff. Then, like, when you come to, you be like, I didn't mean it like that, but that's what you said. But it was because, like, you was in the emotions part of it, and you couldn't see clearly on how you felt about the situation. And it's like, that's something, like, I had a conversation with someone the other day, like, yeah, I know I feel this way. Yeah, I know this is on my mind because it's been on my mind for a while. But the problem is like, with it being on my mind with it being on my mind so much, is that it's the emotions that's there. And it's like, it's not until I can make sense of what I am feeling that I can effectively communicate it so that we can still keep and build a relationship off of my words. Because it's like, that's one thing that we as women tend to overlook. Like, our words are like a double-edged sword. Men too, but specifically for women, because I can only speak for what I am, for who I am. And it's like, knowing when to say certain things, when to do certain things, when is the question. Like, knowing when. And it's like, that's something that I've really been learning lately, like, to be more patient with myself, but also being more patient with others. Like, compassion is a real thing. Like, it's one thing to say you have empathy for people, but it's another thing to show it, because that's what being empathetic means. Like, you're able to show empathy to people because you have compassion to their situation. Like, it's crazy. I just asked somebody this question last night, like, what does loyalty mean to you? And the question was reversed on me, and I said, I feel like it's consideration. Because it's like, if you considered me in your decision, then I know that I can trust you with making a decision about me. Because there's a lot of times, like, people make a decision for you and they don't consider you in it at all. They only consider how they feel about it and what they think about it. And then when you react to it, and they be like, oh, but hey, it coulda, like, that's when those coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda, all that, that's when all that comes. Like, I don't know. I be really just pondering on different things that I come across in life, and just, it make you think. Because it's like, everybody isn't true. Like, everybody don't think like you. Everybody don't operate you. Everybody don't have the same morals as you. Like, we all have our own view of life. Like, we all have our own life experiences, and it's like we may think that I may look at you and think like, oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But whole time you looking at me like this because you wanted me to shut up because you got lost in my first sentence. And it's like, whoa. And I'll be looking like, what? And it be like that though. But it's only because like we only know as much as we are open to knowing. Like, as we are open to learning. Like, everybody I was gonna say everybody's legs don't open as wide as everybody else. Like, some people are very flexible, they can open up them legs very wide, but some people they can't do all of that. They gotta be stiff with it or something like that. I'm gonna leave it at that. But and it be like that, like knowing that everybody ain't the same. Everybody don't digestive system don't operate the same. And that comes from like food and information. Like, I'm just going on a rant. Call it a Shay rant. I really like this light. Like, but for real, that's the message for today. Knowing how to use your words wisely and picking your battles wisely, because it's like, just because you see it that way don't mean everybody see it that way. It could just be in that moment type of thing, and it could just be triggering you to react this way because of what you went through with someone similar. And it's like, okay. Now, once you get to that understanding on what it is, it's like, it's the questions on what's next. How can I overcome this situation? How can I hold myself accountable so that I don't keep repeating those same mistakes? Going back to the start of the conversation, like going through the cycles, learning different habits that you do on a day-to-day basis that you don't like, that other people do, but you still do. Like, introducing yourself to those things within you so that you can grow and elevate into a better person. Like, everything is relative. Like, we may not think it is, we may not even want to believe it as that, but it is. And a lot of times you got to swallow your pride and release your ego and be like, okay, I see it for what it is. Like, that's why I'm a firm believer in God. Like, God, guiding our direction. I don't know who guiding our direction, but I know that it's powers that I don't understand fully. I can't explain to you, but I know it's there. And it's like, whatever people choose to call that higher power is what they choose to call it. But to me, it's God guiding our direction. Because who's ever guiding my direction, I say gratitude to you. Because this week been like a real eye-opener for me. Because it's like, God shifted me in a way to where it made me so uncomfortable that I had to figure out what was up with me. Like, really had to be like, yo, type shit. Like, and I'm grateful for it, because it's like, it's lessons and blessings to life. Like, God said it, and it's it. And it's like, me knowing that I go through these cycles to grow, I might as well grow with the cycles instead of trying to fight it. And now I'm repeating the cycle, or I'm manipulating myself into believing that I'm out the cycle when I'm really repeating it. It's just getting a different result that's bringing me lower and lower and lower. Like, and like a lot of times, like when it bring you lower and lower and lower, you don't even know you wouldn't hit that low until something open your eyes and be like, I can't believe I forgot the line. But they say, oh, man, America. But nah, like, for real. I forgot, I think that was on White Chicks. But like, nah, like, some stuff will like really come into your life and just open your eyes and make you be like, hey, yo, look, like, life is here. Life is what you make it. But if you choose to make it hard, then that's why everything will come to you the way that it do. Like, a lot of times, like, you gotta just stop trying to force it and just allow the shit to flow and grow and be what it is. Like, I ain't saying like I know everything. Well, what I'm saying is coming out clear, but one thing I do know for shit show is that life goes on, and life is gonna test you. Life is a giving. Life is a receiving. Like, life is life. Life is meant to test you and to grow you into the person that you see for yourself. Like, you may not think that this is supposed to happen this way or that's supposed to happen that way, but what if those two things happen the way that it happened so that you can be here instead of back here? So now that you're here, you can use both of those together and it'd be like, ah. And it's like, it all be about your perspective. Because if you won't allow yourself to see the bigger picture of it all and look objectively, you will be subjected to whatever box you allow people to put you in. Ooh, shout out to my teacher when I was in college, Professor D. She said in her book, she said the same box you allow them to put you in is the same box they'll bury you in. So it's like, if you allow people to put you in a box and have you like literally subject you to this way of life and thinking, then you won't ever be able to see the mountaintop. You won't ever be able to see how far you really can go, because you won't even allow that train of thought to even cross your mind, because you surrounded by people that don't want to see that for you, and now you trust in them, and they don't even like you for real. Like, they don't even care that much about you for real, because it ain't even about whether they like you or not. It's about whether they care, whether they're able, whether they even have that thought to consider you. Because it's like, a person can not like you, but they consider you because they respect you. And it's like, I don't know, I gotta think more on this conversation. I'm gonna come back to this, because it's like, I be surprising myself a lot with a lot of things I be saying, because I've been praying a lot, and I've been allowing God to speak through me and help me use my words however they're supposed to come out. And it's like, I be surprising myself with some of the things I say, because I know it's what I'm doing is greater than me in a sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna leave it at that. So you enjoy your night. Peace and love. Enjoy your day. Have it your way, and don't forget to pray.